Have you ever wished your learning journey felt like it was perfectly crafted just for you?
Hmm.
Imagine a classroom that understands your unique strengths, gently guides you through challenges at your own pace, and instantly fills in any knowledge gaps before they become major hurdles.
Yeah, that sounds pretty ideal.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into exactly how artificial intelligence isn't just some futuristic concept anymore.
No, not at
It's
all.
actively making that dream a reality in education right now.
And for this deep dive, we've synthesized, well, a stack of truly fascinating sources. We've pulled critical insights from leading platforms and institutions.
Like who?
Places like e-learning industry, the University of San Diego, University of Illinois, Northwestern University, Forbes, and HP.com too.
Okay, so good range.
Definitely. These materials give a really comprehensive and sometimes, frankly, surprising look at the transformative role AI is playing in revolutionizing personalized education, across the globe.
So our mission for you today is to pull out the most important nuggets from all this material, unpack some maybe truly surprising facts you might not have thought about, and help you understand what this rapidly evolving field of AI truly means for the future of learning.
Whether it's for you directly, or maybe for your kids, or just learners in your life.
Exactly. Okay, let's start peeling back the layers on this. So before we get too deep into the AI side of things, let's make sure we're all on the same page.
Good idea.
What exactly do our sources mean when they talk about personalized learning? It feels like a term that gets thrown around a lot, you know?
It really does, and its real depth might be overlooked sometimes.
So what's the core idea?
It's an excellent place to start, actually, because the definition is, well, it's deeper than it might first seem. The sources we looked at consistently describe personalized learning as really meticulously tailoring the entire educational experience.
The entire experience.
Yeah, everything. To fit each individual student's specific needs, their unique goals, their personal preferences, and critically, their inherent learning styles. Think of it as a complete paradigm shift away from that traditional, one-size-fits-all approach that's dominated education for so long.
Right, the old model where everyone gets the same lecture, the same textbook, same pace.
Exactly. So personalized learning isn't just about handing everyone a tablet or, putting a computer in every classroom.
No, it's more fundamental than that.
Precisely. It's a fundamental rethinking of how learning happens for an individual.
Okay.
Our sources, like e-learning industry, HBSA.com India, Bears Dev, and the University of Illinois, they all highlight that this tailoring covers everything.
Everything
Like the actual speed you learn at, the specific materials you use. Is it text, video, interactive stuff, the order you tackle topics in, the actual technologies involved, and even the way you're taught the pedagogical approach.
wow.
The real takeaway is that personalized learning is about optimizing every single facet of the student's journey.
And that traditional one-size-fits-all model, the
Yeah.
sources are pretty clear that it has some big drawbacks, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like failing to really engage students.
He really struggles there. HP.com India, for instance, points out that this traditional model often just can't cater to the incredibly diverse needs you find in a single classroom.
Makes sense. Kids learn differently.
Totally. And when the curriculum and the pacing aren't adjusted, you inevitably get some students feeling bored because it's too slow for them,
Mm-hmm.
and others feeling completely overwhelmed because it's way too fast.
Yeah, I can see that.
And this imbalance, it directly leads to a significant lack of engagement, lack of motivation among learners. If the learning isn't meeting you where you are, it's just incredibly hard to stay invested.
Which brings us to a really interesting point the sources make.
Yeah.
This level of deep individualized personalization, especially if you want to do it across whole schools or, entire education system,
Right, it's a scaling issue.
it might not actually be feasible without artificial intelligence. Is AI truly the essential engine here, or is it just like a helpful add-on?
That's a great question. And the sources suggest it's far more than an add-on. It seems to be the core engine.
Really?
Yeah, the key insight from multiple sources is that large-scale, truly comprehensive personalization might not be possible without AI technology.
Wow.
AI isn't merely a helper, it's the indispensable power source driving this whole transformation. It provides the crucial scalability and, importantly, the predictive capabilities that humans alone just can't achieve at that level.
Okay, scalability makes intuitive sense. One teacher can maybe personalize for a few students, but doing that for hundreds or thousands, impossible.
Exactly.
But what about predictive capabilities? How does AI predict how someone learns? That sounds a bit like mind reading.
Well, not quite mind reading, but it's powerful. E-learning industry explains it this way. AI helps predict how people will learn by analyzing just vast amounts of data.
What kind of data?
Data on student interactions, their successes, their difficulties, patterns in how they answer questions, how long they spend on things.
Mm.
Imagine it identifying patterns in how, say, similar students have successfully mastered a concept in the past.
Hmm.
That it uses those patterns to anticipate the best next step for you.
So it learns from the collected experience.
Precisely. This allows educators, or the AI system itself, to create material or suggest paths that precisely fit each learner's individual goals and their past successes. It makes the content kind of proactive rather than just reactive.
That is powerful. It's like having this super intelligent assistant constantly analyzing and suggesting the best path forward for every single student. I think one source mentioned precision teaching. Can you expand on that idea?
Yeah, Northwestern University highlights that. They say AI is enabling a level of precision teaching that is simply impossible to achieve in traditional brick-and-mortar settings with current teacher-to-student ratios.
Impossible is a strong word.
It is, but think about it practically. Imagine a teacher in a classroom with, say, 30 students.
Okay. Standard class size.
Right. Each of those 30 students has different prior knowledge, different speeds of understanding things, different areas where they get stuck.
Yeah.
A human teacher, even the most dedicated, most amazing teacher, simply cannot individually tailor every explanation, every piece of feedback, or every little adjustment in pacing for all 30 students simultaneously in real time.
The sheer mental load would be overwhelming.
Exactly. It's an insurmountable cognitive load for one person.
So AI steps in to handle that incredible moment-by-moment data processing and adaptation that a human just can't manage at scale.
That's the idea.
Yep.
For dynamic adaptation, platforms like Dreambox and SmartSparrow, the University of San Diego, cites they're prime examples of this in action.
So what do they do?
Well, these systems don't just follow some preset lesson plan. Instead, they analyze student responses in real time, literally as you click, as you type, as you solve problems.
Instantly. Yeah.
And they dynamically adapt the lessons based on your immediate performance. So if you answer a question correctly, it might recognize that and move you to a more challenging problem, keep you engaged.
Okay.
But if you struggle, it might offer a simpler explanation, maybe show a different kind of example, or even loop back to a foundational concept you might have missed.
So it fills the gaps right away.
Right. That instant feedback loop is incredibly effective. This adaptive nature, it reduces what psychologists call cognitive load.
The mental effort needed.
Yeah, the mental effort required to process new information. By continuously adjusting the difficulty and how things are presented, AI helps prevent students from getting overwhelmed by stuff that's too hard.
Or bored by stuff that's too easy.
Exactly. It ensures truly tailored instruction by meeting the student exactly where they are, every single step of the way. And that makes the whole learning process just far more efficient and ultimately more effective.
Okay, so this isn't just theory then. It's about real, concrete impact. What does all this AI-powered personalization actually mean for the students themselves? How does it enhance their learning experience in, tangible ways? It sounds like it goes way beyond just getting better test scores.
Oh, much further. And what's truly fascinating here is just the sheer breadth of advantages for learners. It's not about one single improvement. It's really a multifaceted enhancement of the entire learning journey. It makes it more effective, sure, but also more engaging, more relevant.
Okay, like what specifically?
Well, first, revisiting that core idea. Enhanced personalized learning. AI deeply customizes the content to each student's unique style and pace. It helps them master concepts at their own speed, as the University of San Diego puts it.
So truly individual pacing.
Truly. If you grasp a concept quickly, the system sees that, lets you move ahead. No waiting around.
Nice.
Conversely, if you need more time, or maybe you need to see it explained a different way or do more practice problems, the platform won't rush you. It'll offer those alternatives until mastery is achieved.
That immediately sounds more engaging, doesn't it? No more getting bored waiting for the rest of the class or feeling lost and left behind because everyone else seems to get it.
Exactly. It brings learning back to the individual. And that leads directly to another huge benefit, improved engagement.
How does AI boost engagement?
Well, it makes learning far more interactive and motivating. Our sources talk a lot about gamified content and these highly adaptive learning platforms.
Gamified, like turning lessons into games?
Sort of, yeah. Applying game mechanics. Think of examples like Kahoots. Lots of schools use that. It uses AI to create quizzes that adapt based on student responses, making learning feel a bit competitive, maybe more fun,
Okay.
or even things like Minecraft. Education Edition, which lets students learn complex subjects through these immersive AI-powered simulations. You're learning by doing, by exploring. And HP.com India really delves into how gamification works here. It applies classic game design elements, things like personalized challenges, maybe customizable avatars for the students, progressive reward systems, and AI designs these to keep you hooked, motivated, and actively participating in your learning.
So it makes learning feel less like a chore, maybe more like an interactive game or a journey with personal milestones. That sounds appealing.
It really can be.
But is there a risk there? Does this gamification risk making learning feel too much like entertainment, maybe distracting from the sometimes challenging brain work that deep learning requires?
That's a really valid concern, and the sources do suggest the key is finding the right balance. The goal isn't just entertainment for entertainment's sake. It's about using engagement as a tool, as a means to get to deeper understanding.
Okay.
And this also ties directly into the individualized pace we talked about. We all know students learn at different speeds. A rigid, fixed pace just doesn't work for
It's
everyone.
definitely not.
So adaptive platforms are specifically built to dynamically adjust that pace. If a student is just flying through the material, the AI recognizes this, offers more challenging content to keep them stimulated, keep them from getting bored.
And the other way around.
Yep. If a student struggles, the AI provides simpler explanations, offers additional practice exercises, maybe revisits foundational concepts they need to shore up. It ensures no learner gets left behind or feels rushed. This optimization of pace, it really aims for maximum learning efficiency for every single student.
And if you're learning at your own pace and the material is engaging, well, it's probably going to stick with you longer, right? Better retention.
Absolutely. That's another key benefit the sources point to. Enhanced understanding and retention.
How does AI help with that specifically?
HP.com, India notes that AI excels at helping identify student performance gaps. It's like a diagnostic tool running constantly.
For instance,
For example, if you consistently miss a certain type of math problem, the AI can instantly diagnose that specific weakness. Then, it doesn't just flag it. It offers additional resources, maybe shows you a different method for solving it, or gives you targeted practice just on that skill.
so it actively tries to fix the problem.
Exactly. This leads to significantly improved comprehension and retention of the material. It's like having an always-on diagnostic tool, plus a personalized library of solutions right at your fingertips. It ensures those little gaps in understanding get filled before they widen into major problems.
And it's not just about academic subjects like math or history, is it? The sources mention broader skills, too,
That's right, a really important point. AI doesn't just help with traditional academic subjects, it also profoundly supports the development of crucial soft skills.
like critical thinking, problem solving.
Exactly. Critical thinking, problem solving, creativity skills essential for the real world.
How does AI teach creativity? That seems counterintuitive.
Well, maybe not teach it directly, but nurture it by providing targeted support through adaptive challenges, maybe complex, open-ended, problem-based scenarios. The AI might present a tricky problem, then instead of giving the answer, it offers prompts or maybe links to relevant resources, guiding a student through the process of solving it themselves.
So it facilitates the process.
Yes. HB.com India highlights how this proactive development of soft skills is vital for preparing students for the complexities of modern careers and just, well, life itself.
Okay, that makes sense. And for learning to be truly effective, a student needs to know how they're doing, preferably right away.
Yeah.
What about feedback? In the traditional model, that often takes days, maybe weeks, to get an assignment back.
That's a huge bottleneck, isn't it?
Yeah.
And immediate feedback is a massive advantage AI brings to the table,
How immediate?
often instantaneous. The University of Illinois emphasizes this. AI offers immediate and detailed feedback on student work. No more waiting days for a graded paper or wondering where you went wrong on that quiz.
So you know right away.
Right away. The AI can highlight strengths, but also weaknesses, often with specific explanations or even links to review material. This profoundly enhances understanding because you can correct misconceptions immediately.
And help students know where to focus?
Exactly. It helps them know precisely where to focus their future efforts. And for teachers, this also provides real-time data. They can see patterns of struggle across the whole class almost instantly, which helps them focus future lessons much more effectively.
Okay, that covers a lot for the students. But beyond the students, how does AI benefit the educators themselves? It sounds like it could be a massive shift in their day-to-day work,
Huge.
potentially freeing them up for more direct, more impactful teaching.
That's a critical point and a major goal. AI aims to streamline many of those heavy administrative and preparatory tasks that currently consume so much of a teacher's time.
Yeah, you hear about teachers drowning in paperwork.
Exactly. Think
Mm.
about the sheer volume of non-teaching tasks educators juggle right now. Grading, scheduling, report writing, managing student behavior records, parent communications. It's endless.
It seems like they spend as much time on admin as on actually teaching sometimes.
It can feel that way.
Yeah.
So one of the most significant benefits for teachers is the automation of administrative tasks.
Like what gets automated?
AI can automate tedious processes like grading, especially for multiple choice or short answer questions, but increasingly for more complex tasks too, scheduling classes or resources, generating reports on student progress. These things can dramatically reduce a teacher's workload.
Any specific tools?
The University of San Diego points to tools like Gradescope. It provides consistent and objective grading, which is great for large classes, ensuring fairness and accuracy. AI scheduling software can optimize complex timetables across an entire school.
That alone sounds like a lifesaver.
And some platforms, like School AI, even claim they can give back 10+ hours per week to teachers.
10 hours a week, that's huge.
It really is. By streamlining things like lesson planning, creating rubrics, handling assessments, imagine what a teacher who's currently stretched so thin could do with that extra time.
More one-on-one time with students who need it, more creative lesson design, maybe just time to breathe.
Exactly. More human interaction, more innovation, or simply preventing burnout.
10 extra hours.
Oh, wow.
And with all that data coming in from student interactions, teachers must get better insights too, right? Beyond just knowing if a student got an A or a B on a test.
Absolutely. That brings us to actionable insights and data analysis. AI doesn't just grade, it analyzes enormous amounts of educational data.
We talked about that for prediction.
Right, but it also helps teachers understand current performance deeply. Assessment results, yes, but also engagement levels, behavior patterns, how long a student spends on a problem, where they typically get stuck online.
So it paints a much richer picture.
Much richer. By extracting meaningful insights from this data, teachers can gain a deeper understanding of individual students, identify learning gaps much more quickly, and make really informed decisions to personalize experiences and adjust their teaching strategies effectively.
Got it.
Platforms like Newton Alta, which the University of San Diego mentions, track performance across multiple metrics, giving teachers this comprehensive, almost X-ray view of student comprehension that goes way beyond a simple grade.
So instead of just guessing where a student might be struggling or relying only on tests, the AI pinpoints it with data.
Precisely.
That must make personalizing lesson plans much more efficient then, because the teacher has concrete data to work with, not just intuition.
It undeniably does.
Yeah.
With these rich, data-driven insights, teachers can tailor lesson plans based on the specific, demonstrated needs of their students. It saves immense time that would otherwise be spent trying to create truly individualized plans from scratch. HEP.com India really emphasizes this efficiency gain. It allows teachers to be much more responsive to their class's collective and individual learning curves.
What about managing the classroom environment itself? Can AI really help there, beyond just the academics?
It seems so, yeah. For more efficient classroom management, AI tools like Classcraft detailed by the University of San Diego can actually gamify the classroom experience.
Gamify behavior.
In a way, yes. By tracking student behavior, rewarding positive actions, maybe things like participation or helping peers. Imagine a system where positive participation earns points or unlocks virtual rewards. The idea is to foster a more productive and motivated learning environment. It's kind of like having an automated assistant helping reinforce good habits and a positive class culture.
Interesting. And for the bigger picture, like what's actually being taught, the curriculum itself, does AI play a role in shaping that?
It can, yes.
Yeah.
AI also plays a role in curriculum development.
Yeah.
The University of San Diego and HP.com India note that AI can analyze data maybe from standardized tests, maybe from usage patterns on learning platforms across the whole student body, or within specific subjects.
To find gaps.
To identify trends, identify gaps, see what's working and what isn't. This helps ensure the curriculum stays relevant, comprehensive, and perfectly aligned with current learning objectives and even future workforce needs.
So the curriculum can evolve more dynamically.
Exactly. Instead of relying on slower periodic reviews every few years, AI can provide insights to help it adapt more quickly to meet current educational demands.
Okay. And beyond the classroom and the curriculum, what about the teachers themselves, their own professional growth? Is AI helping them stay sharp?
Yeah, that's another interesting application. AI supports continuous professional development for educators.
How does that work?
The University of San Diego mentions platforms like Edthena. These can analyze a teacher's practice, maybe through video recordings they upload or just based on their stated goals. Then the AI recommends personalized resources, relevant professional development courses, even suggests specific teaching strategies tailored to that teacher's needs.
So PD becomes personalized too.
Exactly. It helps ensure educators are continually upskilling, staying current with best practices, and learning how to integrate new technologies effectively.
And finally, that perennial, often time-consuming task for teachers, assessment. How does AI streamline that beyond just faster grading?
For streamlined assessment, AI-based tools provide quick, accurate, and importantly, unbiased feedback. HP.com India highlights that this helps teachers identify areas for improvement very rapidly and adapt their teaching strategies almost on the fly.
Unbiased is key there.
It really is. It helps remove potential human bias in scoring, making assessments fairer and more consistent, especially across a large student population. It allows teachers to understand student comprehension levels almost immediately after an assignment is submitted, which enables much more timely intervention and support.
Okay, this is really where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? We've heard about the big picture benefits, the potential, but how does this actually play out in real world applications? What specific, tangible AI-driven tools and systems are transforming education right now? What does that look like for a student or a teacher on a daily basis?
Yeah, great question. Stepping back to consider the broader implications. The sources paint a really rich picture of practical applications. Many of these are already in use, reshaping daily learning experiences. Instead of just, listing a bunch of tools, maybe we can group them into key areas, see how they fit together.
Perfect. Yeah, that helps to contextualize the technology. Where should we start?
Let's start with the core of personalized learning. Personalized learning and tutoring systems. This really combines several powerful AI applications.
Okay.
At its heart, you have these adaptive learning platforms and intelligent tutoring systems, or ITs. Think of platforms from companies like Carnegie Learning, e-learning industry, and the University of San Diego mention these.
And what defines them?
These systems are constantly assessing a student's performance, their strengths, weaknesses, their learning pace, all in real time. But they don't just track it passively. They use AI to dynamically provide personalized learning pathways. They adjust the content, the resources, the activities to align with your specific needs right then and there.
So it's definitely not a static course where everyone gets the same worksheet or video. It's constantly changing, adapting based on your input, your progress. That is a huge shift from a traditional textbook or even a standard online course.
Absolutely. And an intelligent tutoring system, an ITS, goes maybe a step further. It provides individualized guidance and support that really tries to mimic a human tutor.
Mimic a human, how?
Well, it assesses your understanding, pinpoints specific areas where you're having difficulty, and then offers targeted explanations, specific feedback, tailored practice exercises, always adapting as you progress.
That sounds sophisticated.
It is. HP.com India notes that these systems combine AI with natural language processing NLP. That's the letting computers understand and generate human-like text and speech.
Right.
And machine learning, which is how they learn and improve from all the data they process without needing explicit programming for every scenario. It's this powerful blend that makes them feel sometimes almost like a human tutor, but one that's available 24/7.
Wow, like having a digital coach who knows exactly what you need to learn next and when. That's incredible. Okay, so that's the core learning path. What about getting the right materials? Can AI help with just finding relevant content in the vast sea of information out there?
Definitely. That brings us to content curation and creation tools. AI algorithms are getting really good at analyzing a student's profile, their past performance, stated interests, learning goals,
And then what?
and then generating tailored recommendations for educational resources. That could be specific articles, videos, simulations, even suggesting whole courses or modules. E-learning industry and HP.com India explain this, help students discover relevant content that truly matches their individual preferences and learning objectives. It vastly expands their access to knowledge beyond what a single teacher could ever manually curate for every student.
So if I'm really into, say, Renaissance art, but I'm struggling with quadratic equations in math, the AI might recommend an art history video related to perspective, which uses math. Or Or maybe find a math tutorial that uses art examples to make it connect better for me.
Exactly, that kind of cross-curricular connection, yes. Or just finding the best explanation of quadratic equations for you based on how you've learned other math concepts. And this idea extends to smart textbooks, which bears dev details.
Smart textbooks. What makes them smart?
They're not just static PDFs or ebooks. They're ebook formats packed with interactive, AI-driven features.
Like what?
Things like automatically generated chapter summaries tailored to what you struggled with, dynamic study guides, AI-powered flashcards focusing on terms you got wrong, real-time assessments and feedback embedded right within the chapters, personalized practice tests you can take over and over, even integrated note-taking tools that might link your notes to specific parts of the text.
So the textbook itself becomes adaptive.
Yes. Students can use them in a truly personalized way. Maybe taking practice tests until they feel completely confident on a topic, or having the textbook proactively suggest supplementary readings or videos based on their performance on the embedded quizzes. It makes the textbook a living, breathing learning partner, not just a passive resource.
Okay, that's impressive. What about communication? Like asking questions when you're stuck outside of class hours?
That's where AI-powered communication and support tools become really valuable. Natural language processing, NLP, is key here again.
Or chatbots.
Exactly. It enables intelligent chatbots and virtual assistants that can interact pretty conversationally with students. These AI assistants can answer factual questions, provide explanations of concepts, offer feedback on short written answers, things like that. They enhance learning even when a human teacher isn't immediately available.
24/7 support, essentially.
Pretty much. And Beresdev points out something interesting. For students who might have social anxiety, interacting with an impersonal, non-judgmental AI learning guide can sometimes be more comfortable and helpful than asking a human tutor. It provides a safe space to ask basic questions without feeling self-conscious.
That's a really good point.
And some tools are becoming very sophisticated. School AI's Dot Assistant, for example, can guide students through interactive workspaces in over 60 languages.
60 languages.
Yeah, which is huge for addressing language barriers and promoting independent learning globally.
That's a massive step for global access and also, as you said, for students with specific learning needs or anxieties. Speaking of access, what about students with disabilities or those language barriers we just mentioned? Can AI truly level the playing field there?
This is perhaps one of the most profoundly impactful application areas. Enhanced accessibility and inclusivity. AI-driven assistive technologies are proving incredibly supportive for students facing various challenges.
How
Beresdev and the University of San Diego detail several ways. For language barriers, AI can do real-time translation of text or automatically generate accurate subtitles for videos and lectures.
Wow.
For students with sensory impairments, AI can translate visual images into sound descriptions, or vice versa, represent sound visually. Speech recognition software can transcribe spoken words into text instantly for hearing-impaired students.
Amazing.
For students with motor challenges, voice-based commands can replace the need for keyboards, mice, or touchpads, opening up digital learning for many who were previously excluded.
Just incredible potential there.
And crucially, for neurodivergent students with conditions like autism or ADHD, AI can present information in ways that are sensitive to differences in individual brain function and behavioral traits. It might offer different layouts, pacing options, or ways to filter distractions, making mainstream classrooms far more inclusive.
That feels truly revolutionary.
It really does. Bernard Marr, cited by the University of San Diego, highlights this powerfully. He talks about AI's role in making global classrooms available to all, and better serving students who need learning at a different level, or in a subject maybe not even offered at their local school. This is truly about striving for universal access to quality education.
So it's about leveling the playing field for everyone, regardless of their background, location, or specific challenges. That's powerful. Okay, shifting gears slightly for educators. How does AI impact assessment beyond personalized feedback? And what about maintaining academic integrity in this new tech-rich environment? That seems like a big challenge.
It is. And AI offers solutions in assessment and integrity solutions. On the assessment side, as we touched on, AI can automate much of the process, providing timely and personalized feedback. Intelligent grading systems evaluate assignments, quizzes, exams, enabling faster feedback delivery.
Even for complex things like essays.
Increasingly, yes. The University of San Diego and HP.com India point out that AI can now grade more abstract assessments like essays by analyzing the content for things like coherence, relevance to the prompt, structure, even grammatical accuracy to some extent. And doing this can help reduce the potential for human bias in evaluation.
Okay. And the integrity part, cheating.
Right. In terms of integrity, AI-powered systems are becoming crucial for proctoring and plagiarism detection.
Proctoring, like watching students take tests online.
Yes, monitoring online exams to detect suspicious behavior and prevent cheating, ensuring academic integrity when tests are taken remotely. And tools like Turnitin, which many universities already use, leverage AI to check for originality in student submissions by comparing them against vast databases of existing text, flagging potential plagiarism. Both BearsDev and the University of San Diego mention these tools.
Okay. This all sounds very digital, very screen-based, though. What about bringing in more immersive experiential learning that feels more like real-world exploration or hands-on activity?
That's precisely where immersive and experiential learning comes in. Powered by AI working with virtual reality VR and augmented reality AR.
VR and AR in the classroom.
Absolutely. These technologies offer incredibly valuable immersive learning experiences. Imagine students exploring ancient Rome in VR, examining complex 3D models of human anatomy, or even practicing delicate surgical procedures in a virtual program without any real-world risk.
Wow, that beats looking at diagrams in a book.
Definitely. And these programs are enhanced by AI. The AI can provide interactive labels that pop up when you look at something, offer explanations tailored to your level, and even adapt the challenges within the simulation based on your progress.
So the virtual world responds to you.
Yes. The University of San Diego gives some great examples. Virtual 3D classrooms using platforms like Engage VR, virtual science labs like Labster that allow safe exploration and experimentation with complex equipment, and virtual field trips using Google Expeditions to broaden horizons far beyond the school walls. It's truly a game changer for hands-on learning, even when it's simulated.
Okay. Now, with so much data being collected on student performance and interaction, can AI actually predict who might struggle before they fall too far behind? That would be an incredible early warning system for teachers.
Yes, absolutely. That falls under data analytics for learning insights, specifically something called predictive analytics.
How does that work?
AI algorithms analyze all that student performance data we talked about: quiz scores, homework completion, time spent on topics, engagement levels, error patterns. They look for subtle trends and patterns that might indicate a student is starting to struggle, even before it shows up on a major test.
Patterns a human teacher might miss.
Potentially, yes, especially across a large class or over long periods. The AI can spot these signals early, enabling timely intervention by the teacher or the system itself.
Mm.
School AI, for instance, talks about showing real-time student progress, identifying not just who's struggling, but potentially how to help them right at the moment it matters most. It allows educators to be proactive rather than just reactive after a student has already fallen behind.
That could make a huge difference. Okay, this is clearly impacting individual students and classrooms. But does AI have a role at the broader institutional level? For the school system itself, managing everything behind the scenes?
Oh, definitely. AI provides operational efficiencies for institutions that go well beyond just the classroom teaching and learning.
Like what kind of things?
The University of San Diego lists several examples. Things like optimizing school bus routes for efficiency and safety using systems like SafeStop, helping schools manage their finances more effectively with tools like AlloView, enhancing cybersecurity across the school network with platforms like Darktrace, monitoring school premises for safety and security using AI-powered cameras like those from Avigilon, even integrating various campus IT systems for overall efficiency using frameworks like Cisco Digital Network Architecture.
So streamlining the whole operation.
Exactly. AI is really being applied across the entire educational ecosystem, aiming to make operations smoother, more efficient, and more secure. Even things you might not immediately think of, like classroom comfort.
Classroom comfort.
Yeah, BearsDev mentions AI solutions that can automatically adjust classroom temperature and lighting to optimal levels based on time of day or occupancy. Some systems can even analyze occupancy rates and the physical space between students. These factors can actually impact instructor effectiveness and student well-being and concentration. So AI is helping manage the physical environment too.
Okay, so we've heard about this incredible potential, this vast range of practical applications. It sounds transformative. But whenever we discuss powerful technology like this, especially when it involves personal data, human development, learning, there have got to be some significant hurdles, right? Some complexities.
Absolutely.
What are the major challenges and the really critical ethical considerations that come with integrating AI so deeply into education?
That's a vital question, and you're right, our sources are very clear that these aren't minor issues. There are fundamental considerations for deploying AI responsibly. Forbes actually puts it quite succinctly. The future of education lies at the intersection of innovation and ethical management. It's about balancing the potential with the pitfalls.
Privacy and security concerns always seem to top the list when we talk about systems collecting large amounts of data. I imagine student data, especially, is incredibly sensitive.
It's paramount, and yes, it consistently comes up first. Privacy and security concerns. AI systems, especially personalized learning ones, rely on vast amounts of student data.
What kind of data are we talking about?
Highly personal information, obviously academic records, but also detailed learning styles, interaction patterns, behavioral data, personal preferences expressed within the platform.
That's a lot of sensitive info.
It is. And the University of Illinois, HP.com India, and Forbes all raise very valid concerns. What specific data is being collected? How is it actually being used? How securely is it stored? How is it protected from potential data breaches or misuse? There are inherent risks in every single stage. The collection, the processing, the sharing of that data, and even the potential for sort of invasion of personal space if these systems aren't handled with extreme care and transparency.
Are companies addressing this?
There's growing awareness. It's worth noting that some platforms, like School8i, which we mentioned earlier, are explicitly trying to address this head-on. They state they are secure by design, and they claim they ensure student data is never saved or used to train future models through direct agreements they have with the underlying AI model providers.
So they're trying to build in safeguards.
Exactly. It shows proactive steps are being taken by some to mitigate these very real concerns, but it remains a critical area for ongoing vigilance and regulation.
Okay, that's somewhat reassuring that some are being proactive. But what about the AI itself? Can the algorithms, no matter how carefully they're implemented, introduce their own form of bias? We hear a lot about AI bias in other areas.
Yes, and it's a significant and well-documented challenge in education, too. Potential bias in AI algorithms.
How does that manifest?
Studies, particularly highlighted by the University of Illinois, HP.com India, and Forbes, have shown some concerning biases. For example, in certain generative AI models like GPT detectors used to check for AI written text.
What bias did they find?
One study found that over half of writing samples from non-native English speakers were incorrectly flagged as being AI generated,
Over half, compared to native speakers.
compared to near-perfect accuracy for native English speakers in the same study.
Wow. Why would that happen?
The issue seems to be partly because these detectors are often trained on massive data sets consisting primarily of native English writing. So they tend to recognize more standard, perhaps literary and complex, or sometimes just less common phrasing patterns as human. Non-native speakers might use phrasing that's grammatically correct but less typical, which the AI then misinterprets as non-human.
So a student who is still mastering English or just writes differently might be falsely accused of cheating by an algorithm. That could have devastating real-world consequences.
Absolutely devastating. It can lead to false accusations, which could severely undermine a student's academic career, cause immense psychological distress, and completely erode trust in the very systems that are supposed to be supporting them.
So what's the recommendation?
Our sources strongly advise against using these AI-driven GPT detectors as definitive assessment tools, especially for non-native speakers, until much more comprehensive evaluation and bias mitigation techniques are developed and proven effective.
Use them differently?
Yes. Perhaps use them as educational aids, maybe to help students refine their writing style or check for clarity, rather than using them for punitive purposes like accusing someone of cheating based solely on the detector's output. It's a very clear reminder that these tools are not infallible and carry inherent risks of bias.
That's a really powerful caution. Okay, what about the human element, that crucial teacher-student relationship? Could an over-reliance on AI diminish that connection, make learning feel colder, more impersonal?
That's a frequently voiced concern, definitely.
Yeah.
Reduced human interaction. There's a valid worry that if we rely too heavily on AI systems for instruction and feedback, it might diminish those crucial teacher-to-student interactions and relationships.
Which could impact what?
Potentially the social-emotional aspects of learning. The University of Illinois and Bears Dev suggest this could lead to students' social skills and interpersonal development suffering if direct human connection, empathy, and mentorship are deprioritized in favor of automated systems.
But is there another side to that argument?
There is, yes. A powerful counterargument, which is also presented by the University of Illinois Northwestern University and BearsDev, is that automating the administrative tasks, the grading, the scheduling, that actually frees up teachers' time.
The time we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Time they can then spend on more meaningful human interaction, building stronger relationships, offering individualized mentorship, focusing on social emotional growth, things AI can't do.
So it's a reallocation of teacher time.
Potentially, yes. A recent survey cited by the University of Illinois noted something quite striking. Only 22% of students felt their teachers really understood their lives outside school.
Only 22%.
Wow. Yeah. It indicates a significant area where teachers, perhaps freed by AI from hours of grading papers, could make a very intentional, very human effort to connect more deeply with their students on a personal level.
That's a fascinating reframing. Not necessarily less human interaction overall, but hopefully more impactful human interaction. Okay, but all this technology, especially the sophisticated adaptive learning systems, they must come with a hefty price tag, right?
Like they absolutely do. And
Wha-
that's the very significant issue of high implementation costs.
How costly are we talking?
The cost of AI in education varies hugely. Simple generative AI tools for, say, helping a teacher draft lesson plans might be relatively inexpensive, maybe as low as $25 a month per user.
Okay, that's manageable.
But the larger, comprehensive adaptive learning systems that personalize across subjects for many students, those can cost tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes much more, just to implement across a single institution.
Tens of thousands.
Or more. Implementing these big systems is very expensive and often way beyond the budgets of many schools, particularly those in underserved communities or less wealthy districts.
So it could widen the gap.
That's the fear. It could potentially worsen the existing digital divide
Right.
and create even more unequal access to necessary technology, as noted by the University of Illinois, BearsDev, and Forbes. And it's not just the initial setup cost. There are also ongoing expenses for system maintenance, software updates, and crucially, significant staff training to ensure these complex tools are actually used effectively. It's a major financial barrier.
A huge barrier, okay. And the elephant in the room for many educators and institutions, academic misconduct. If AI can write essays, solve complex math problems, even code, how do you prevent cheating and ensure genuine learning and academic integrity?
Yeah, academic misconduct is indeed a chief concern. The University of Illinois is very explicit. If AI is used dishonestly to complete assignments or exams, it fundamentally undermines the education process and is just deeply unfair to students who put in the honest work. Strong safeguards and monitoring systems are clearly needed.
But can you really stop it?
That's the debate. The sources highlight a fascinating and rapidly evolving discussion happening right now. While some institutions initially reacted by trying to ban generative AI tools outright,
Yeah, I heard about that.
others are now starting to encourage its use, but in specific, transparent ways. They're likening it to how calculators or spell checkers were once viewed powerful tools that students actually need to learn how to use effectively and ethically, because they're becoming commonplace in the professional world.
So learn to use it, don't just ban it.
That's one perspective gaining traction. The International Baccalaureate program, for instance, has actually allowed students to, quote, output from ChatGPT in their work, provided it's cited properly, just like any other source. BearsDev suggests this overall shift might push educators to rethink assessment itself. Maybe focus less on tasks AI can easily do, and more on skills it cannot easily replicate.
Like what?
Like asking insightful critical questions, analyzing complex processes, debating pros and cons thoughtfully, working collaboratively in groups, demonstrating deep critical thinking, effective communication, and strong presentation skills, things that are inherently human and harder for AI to fake convincingly.
So it's less about trying to block AI use entirely and maybe more about adapting what we teach and how we assess, focusing on those higher order human skills. That's a big shift.
It's a potentially huge shift in pedagogy.
Okay, one last challenge area. What about the information AI generates itself? We assume it's correct, but is it always reliable?
Not necessarily, and that's the final key challenge mentioned: unpredictability and inaccurate information, sometimes called hallucinations in AI.
Hallucinations.
Yeah, when the AI confidently makes things up or presents incorrect information as fact. The University of Illinois warns that AI's output is fundamentally only as good as the algorithms it runs on, and critically, the data it was trained on,
Garbage in, garbage out.
essentially. If that underlying training data is inaccurate, outdated, incomplete, or biased, then the information the AI creates will likely reflect those flaws. It might be subtly inaccurate or wildly biased or just plain wrong.
So students can't just trust it blindly.
Absolutely not. This means students need to develop strong critical evaluation skills. They need to learn to question AI-generated information, cross-reference it, understand its limitations, rather than just accepting it at face value because it sounds convincing.
So media literacy becomes even more critical.
Hugely important. Fostering critical thinking and digital media literacy becomes even more vital in an AI-powered world. Students need to become discerning consumers and users of information, regardless of whether it comes from a human teacher, a textbook, or an algorithm.
So, okay, let's try to bring this all together. What does this mean for the bigger picture? We've got these incredibly powerful benefits, these practical tools changing classrooms, but also these really significant challenges and ethical dilemmas. Where do we go from here? Is AI truly meant to replace teachers? Or are we seeing the formation of some kind of new symbiotic relationship?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's fascinating here, and frankly quite reassuring, is the strong, almost universal consensus we found across our sources.
Which is?
AI should not replace human teachers.
Yeah.
That is fundamentally not the goal, nor is it seen as desirable or even effective by most experts and educators reflecting on this. It's not about a machine taking over the classroom.
That's a crucial distinction, and probably a relief for many educators and parents to hear. So the vision isn't replacement, it's AI as an amplifier, a powerful assistant to the teacher.
Exactly. That's the prevailing sentiment. AI should support teachers, it should expand their reach, augment their capabilities, and critically relieve them of those repetitive, time-consuming administrative tasks we discussed.
Freeing them up for.
Freeing them up to focus on the elements of teaching and mentorship that require a uniquely human touch. Things like monitoring students' overall well-being, providing nuanced emotional support, understanding the complex personal challenges each student might be facing, fostering deep critical thinking through dialogue, nurturing creativity, building relationships. Things AI is nowhere near capable of doing authentically. Northwestern University, e-learning industry, Forbes, Bears Dev, they all really underscore this point.
And students want that human connection too.
Overwhelmingly, it seems. That Ford study we mentioned, it highlighted that a significant majority of students, 57%, strongly disagreed, and another 23% disagreed, do not want AI to replace their human teachers.
Wow, that's 80% against replacement.
Exactly. It powerfully underscores the crucial, perhaps irreplaceable role of human emotional connection, empathy, and responsive engagement in the learning process. Students value that relationship.
So the teacher's role isn't disappearing, not by a long shot, but it's clearly evolving significantly. How does that look in practice in an AI-enhanced classroom? What does a teacher actually do day to day when AI is handling grading, basic explanations, maybe even lesson plan drafts?
The sources envision a profound evolving role of teachers. In this kind of AI-enhanced classroom, teachers can shift their focus. They move towards evaluating the overall educational experience, not just marking assignments. They provide the kind of essential holistic feedback that AI simply can't deliver, the kind that comes from deep understanding of a student's individual context, their personality, their emotional state that day.
So they become more like mentors, guides, facilitators.
Precisely. Their role is to adapt and respond to those areas where human intuition, human understanding, human connection are required. They ensure the machines are delivering the content effectively, yes, but they concentrate on the more personalized, complex, and human aspects of education, guiding academic progress, yes, but also nurturing personal development, resilience, collaboration skills.
And doing things machines can't.
Exactly. Beersdev adds that this shift means instructors can really lean into performing tasks that machines are unlikely to handle well anytime soon. Things like offering genuine encouragement, celebrating successes meaningfully, mediating student conflicts, implementing innovative new educational models that require flexibility and human judgment. Things AI just isn't designed for. It's really about leveraging the best of both worlds. AI for efficiency and scale, humans for depth and connection.
This sounds like a global movement, doesn't it? Not just something happening in a few tech-forward schools or university labs.
It is, very much so. We're seeing global initiatives and recommendations for responsible use popping up everywhere. Countries worldwide are actively adopting AI in education, experimenting with different approaches, and starting to develop strategies for its ethical deployment.
Any examples?
Sure. HP.com India details several. Singapore is providing teachers with AI-enabled companions to help with grading and personalized feedback. South Korea is using AI-powered digital textbooks that can adapt homework assignments based on student performance. India is using AI to generate 3D imagery from standard textbooks, making learning more interactive and immersive. And the U.S. has a strong focus on using AI for personalized learning pathways and developing more sophisticated adaptive assessments.
So it's happening globally with different focuses.
Yes, and organizations like UNESCO are highlighting AI's potential to significantly accelerate progress towards global goals, like Sustainable Development Goal 4, which aims for quality education for all. They see AI as a tool to help address long-standing issues like lack of access to quality resources in remote areas or persistent teacher shortages in certain regions or subjects. It truly has the potential, if used wisely, to help democratize quality education.
That's a huge, incredibly ambitious vision for AI. So to make this positive vision a reality and avoid the pitfalls we discussed, what are the actionable recommendations for the institutions, for policymakers, for the individual educators on the ground?
The sources provide some clear, practical recommendations tailored for those different stakeholders.
Okay, let's hear them. For schools and universities.
For educational institutions, the advice is generally develop comprehensive AI strategies, don't just adopt tools piecemeal. Establish clear ethical guidelines right from the start, covering data use, bias, transparency. And crucially, invest heavily in ongoing training and professional development for educators so they have the skills and confidence to use these new tools effectively. They also need to promote collaboration and sharing of best practices, both internally and with other institutions.
Makes sense. What about governments, policymakers?
For policymakers, the key recommendations are develop effective national or regional ethical guidelines and robust regulations, particularly around student data privacy, algorithmic transparency, and preventing bias. They also need to strategically invest in AI research and development specifically for educational applications and encourage public-private partnerships to foster innovation responsibly.
Okay. And finally, for the teachers themselves, the educators in the classroom.
For educators, the advice is multifaceted. First, actively engage with and learn to use AI tools responsibly to enhance their teaching and personalized learning. Don't just ignore it. Second, proactively foster digital literacy skills in their students, helping them understand how AI works, its capabilities, its limitations, and how to use it ethically. And third, openly discuss the ethical considerations of AI in the classroom, preparing students to navigate an increasingly AI-infused world thoughtfully and critically.
The future of AI in education definitely sounds incredibly dynamic, complex, and promising. With ongoing improvements expected in personalized learning, accessibility, maybe even areas we haven't thought of yet. It really feels like a journey we're just beginning, not a final destination.
Absolutely. The University of San Diego anticipates even more advanced tools for adaptive learning, more sophisticated AI tutors, perhaps even more immersive and collaborative virtual classrooms in the near future, all designed, hopefully, to make education more engaging, more effective, and more equitable for everyone.
So it really comes down to how we choose to use it.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
By thoughtfully, strategically, and most importantly, responsibly implementing AI, we can work toward a future where technology truly supplements and enriches the essential human element in education rather than trying to supplant it. The ultimate goal, echoed across Forbes, HP.com, India, BearsDev, and others, is to maximize these incredible benefits while proactively anticipating and addressing the challenges. We need to ensure fair and equal access for all students, making learning genuinely inclusive and accessible on a global scale. #outro.
Wow. We have certainly covered a lot of ground today. From AI tailoring lessons right down to your unique learning style and optimizing how entire school systems run, all the way to grappling with those critical challenges of data privacy, algorithmic bias, and making sure we don't lose that crucial human element.
Yeah.
It's incredibly clear that artificial intelligence is not just some buzzword anymore. It's a powerful and rapidly evolving force that is fundamentally reshaping what's possible in education right now as we speak.
And stepping back, considering the broader implications here, it's not simply about implementing the newest, shiniest technology just because we can.
No, it's got to be more intentional than that.
Exactly. It's about intentionally designing a future for learning. A future where learning is more effective, yes, but also more inclusive and fundamentally more human-centered, all potentially amplified and supported by these incredibly smart tools that can empower both learners and educators if we get it right.
So thinking about all this, what stands out most to you, our listener, about how AI might change education? Maybe in your own life or perhaps for your children or someone else you know. Will it truly help make every student feel seen, understood, and supported in their unique journey? Or are there still just too many unanswered questions, too many risks around its ethical and equitable implementation? Something to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today. We really hope it gave you some fascinating insights to chew on and perhaps even inspired you to explore this incredibly important topic further on your own.